Greetings and salutations, Internet Distance. It is I, Wolfphototech, and here we are with another delightful video. This time I'm going to talk about Pathfinder 2nd Edition Game Mastery Guide. This is the original Game Mastery Guide that was released with the beginning of Pathfinder 2nd Edition, not the remaster GM core rulebook. However, there are several important points I'm going to quickly cover over in this book that makes it different from the GM core rulebook. There are features in this book that still make it worth purchasing if you are specifically going to go in the direction of playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition remastered version. Now, to start, this book MSRP's for $50. Probably is going to get knocked up to $60 sometime in the near future. It is a fairly thick book, but not as ridiculously thick as the core rulebook. As it's typical for the Game Master color theme in Pathfinder, they use red for the Game Master stuff. You have a very nice table of contents layout right here with some nice illustrative images of the various themes throughout the book. You got the introduction starting at page 4. The Game Mastery Basics, which is basically more than Game Mastery Basics. It's actually like level 2 of the Game Mastery stuff. So it's the next step beyond Game Mastery Basics. Then you have, on page 2, you have various tools. Page 6 starts the Game Mastery Basics, which is not Game Mastery Basics, but it's more than that. Tools, chapter 2, starts at page 54. Contains all kinds of tools for building characters, various NPCs, traps, hazards, haunts, and so forth. Item quirks, putting curses on things, relics, various artifacts, basic stuff like that. Chapter 3 is subsystems, which gets down into leadership, reputation systems, special chase rules, research, influence, and so forth. And it keeps on going there, and that starts at 146th. Chapter 4 is variance rules, which starts at 180. You have all kinds of stuff, including variance score variance, alignment variance, deep backgrounds, feats and features, level 0 characters, which I love the concept of level 0. Magic item variance, proficiency without level, skill points and stamina. And then chapter 5, NPC Gallery, starts at 202. You have all kinds of fun stuff in there. Courtiers, criminals, devotees, downtrodden, explorers, foresters, healers, laborers, magisters, and so forth. And then at the Glossier Index is at 250. Yeah, there's only like 250 pages in this book. Because like half of the typical stuff is in the core rule book. So, this should have been like a 500-page book if they took all the Game Master stuff out of the core rule book and put it in here. You have a nice little introduction with a nice little piece of artwork in the corner. You got a little bar right here for navigation. It's a really basic bar for navigation. It just basically is just a reminder of, hey, you are in this location. But it's not going to help you a whole lot. Then you have Chapter 1, Game Master Basics, which is really just game mastering the game. It goes over Session 0, pacing, game levels, types of games, and so forth. You have a nice full-page piece of artwork right here. The thing you have noted is you've got hero points, explanations here, and NPC locations, and so forth, and metagaming concepts. There is quite a few instances throughout this book where there is just a lot of text, and then you got a piece of artwork here, text, and so forth. Concepts of aiding, seeking, cover, and so forth. All the core important stuff that a game master needs to know to run Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Rules for mounted combat, aerial combat, and aquatic combat. And it continues on. Social encounters, exploration, and so forth. In ruins, cities, swamps, stuff like that. You got a nice little section right here for quick environmental details to set the stage for you to understand what kind of things you want to describe to players in a given location, such as the aquatic areas, Arctic, forests, mountains, plains, and so forth. You got a little section talking about how to investigate traps and stuff like that. A little quick run on that. And then you got how to run downtime. Yet again, some nice artwork here and there. Tasks and events, and so forth. It is important to note that adjudicating rules section right here, it's important to note that this whole chapter 1 is pretty much replicated into the GM core rulebook with some tweaks and modifications here and there, so there's not a whole lot of necessity to buy this book specifically for this part, but you get more in different wording. This section talks about rarity in your game of items, campaign structures, and so much more, as well as economy and adventure design. You still yet again have some nice artwork spread throughout it. You got a section on talking about treasures, little drawing maps, and so forth. Here's chapter 2, which is all about tools, which is building creatures, building hazards, such in the environment, and so forth. Skip a few pages. A lot of tables and charts here. Designing abilities, designing weapons, designing relics, using environmental traits to tie into creatures, and so forth. This is the section on building hazards. Simple hazards, intermediate and complex hazards. All kinds of fun stuff to go through here. Then you shoot a few more pages, skip a few. You got intelligent items, you got relics, you got cursed items, and so forth. This is your fun little item section when you want to mess with your players just a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't mess with your players all the time. And sometimes if you've got a good player, or you can give them a cursed item and they'll really roll with it and just have fun with it. The best cursed items are the ones that your players can figure out how to use the curse to their favor sometimes. And so forth. Gems, art objects, and so forth. You got afflictions like diseases. You got a section on poisons, drugs, civilization information, nations, and so forth. This really goes deep down. And then you got subsystems, which basically talks about all kinds of stuff like victory points and influence. And as I said before, you got classes, chase rules, yes. Infiltration and so forth. Skip a few pages. And then you have to the variant rules. Now it's important to note when you get into the variant rules that this section right here doesn't entirely replicate into the new GM core. So you get less of that. And then you get to the NPC gallery. Now this is one of the reasons why you probably want to really buy. This is like the big win for buying this book, considering the remasters has come out. You want to buy this book for the reasons you can have a variety of characters like nobles and advisors and spies and palace guard and various different types of criminals like a grave robber, bandits, ruffians, charlatans, and so forth. This section is all about what kind of denizens can you fill your villages and cities with, and if your players get into fights with them because they're baddies or whatever, they're doing things that oppose the party or complicate things, you have tons and tons of options. You got an assassin here, you got a burglar, you have devotees, acolyte, prophet, zealot, of Asmodeus, of Pharasma, and so forth. You got various downtrodden people like beggars, commoner, urchins, prisoner, and so forth. You have a nice variety of characters in here. Explorers, forestry people, trackers, various different types of healers and cooks, and so forth. You just got a nice selection to page through. You got various mercenaries, so send assassins and mercenaries after your party when they set the fire to the temple in town. You got necromancers and demonologists and so forth. You got government officials and other specialty people, town watch and executioners and so forth. You got people for performance like dancers, acrobats, troubadour, beast tamers, and so forth. Servers, innkeepers, and so forth. Scholars, seafarers, you got pirates and ship captains and so forth. Tradespeople, villains. You got a section with some villains thrown in here. Some crazy people. Crazy people are fun. You got a nice little glossary index back here, and boom, that's pretty much it. Just a few pages of that, as well as the OGL. As advertisement for the Lost Omens. Now, considering that the GM Core has just released, and if you are deciding to stick with the original version of Pathfinder 2nd Edition, this book is definitely a 4-star book in itself because it comes with so many variant options. Some of them have become standard to campaigns, like the free archetype, variant rule, and many more. My nose is starting to run. But anyways, there's also the value of having rules on how to construct hazards and traps and various other things, and you can customize monsters more efficiently with the rules in this book. Also, the NPC gallery easily allows for you to have a city campaign of criminals, thieves, rogue politicians trying to do their thing and to gain more power and so forth, which expands so much into the range of play options you can play. Now, if you're going with a remaster, this book is still a decent buy. It's actually probably like a 3.5 star then. It's expensive at that point because if you're buying Pathfinder 2nd Edition Remaster, you're going to get the GM Core rulebook. You're going to have a whole lot of overlap. The real value in this book that you want is the NPC gallery right now. That'll help you out a lot. And yet again, go back to my previous statement about expanding your campaigns in cities. That helps out a lot. So there you go. If you enjoy this video, please leave a like on it and subscribe to my channel and share it to various other people. If I hit 500 subscribers, I will do a unboxing of Warhammer Fantasy 3rd Edition from Fantasy Flight Games. This has never been opened. It still has the original sealed factory plastic wrap. See right there. This is a pretty chunky box full of stuff. So at 500 subscribers, I will do a video of me doing that. And then when I get to 1,000 subscribers, Sassy, come here. Sassy, hop. I'll take Sassy on a walk to Lake Geneva when I get to 1,000 subscribers. Yes, right, Sassy. Huh? I'll take you on a walk through Lake Geneva if I got 1,000 subscribers. Yes. She's a cute little beagle girl. Alrighty. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a delightful day, a nice night, a wonderful weekend, a magnificent month. And see you next time. Ciao.